The final Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge has arrived. What a beautiful phone, not the cheapest one of course, but big screen, great processor, so I want to show you this game check with Game Bench, meaning you will see Asphalt 8 and Dead Trigger 2, and I'm using this tool because you have in the upper left corner, here you see live the frames per second. At the moment, of course, that's a pre-rendered image here, so you have a stable 30 frames per second, but now here we go and we'll see. First of all, please do not judge how I'm driving, how I'm doing this. This is not a let's play or something. I just want to show you the features of that phone and how fluidly you can play games on it. For example, Asphalt 8 shall be one of the more advanced graphics advanced. It's not easy to see this here and to check if I'm still in the middle of the frame of the camera, so please do not judge. Yeah, of course, you have that Exynos 7420 processor, meaning you have 8 cores, 3 GB of RAM, and you have especially 4 cores with 2.1 GHz, the other 4 with 1.5. And these upper 4 cores are Cortex A47, meaning you do not have that usual Cortex A53 only. That's a little bit lower power, but lower consuming of power, of course. So these upper Cortex A47 cores, these are the interesting one because they are really powerful. And you see that already here, that you have almost a stable 30 frames per second. And I can tell you, or let's see here in the statistics, let's stop at the moment. I'm not tapping it quite right here. Let me drop it down. Here we go. My finger was a little bit wet, I guess. So here we have that session we just did. It was a little bit too short. So let's go, for example, to this one here, and you see what I mean. You have a performance of 30 frames per second, and this is really astonishing. You have that frame rate distribution about 100%, meaning almost all of these frames around these frame rate here, 30 frames per second, you see that narrow value here, that narrow graph, so almost all the frames are delivered around that value. So it's very stable and not like cheaper phones where this is much more wider, so you have more differences in quick and slow and quick and slow, so you see the differences even more than this one. And especially GPU only at 67%, meaning there would be way more power here, more potential, let's say up to 50 or maybe even 60 frames per second. But I guess it's not, the Asphalt 8 program app is not programmed like that. So that's why they say, okay, 30 is enough, and that's okay for that game maybe. So, but here we now go to this is Dead Trigger 2. At the moment, again, pre-rendered scene, so we have 30, and here we go, that's live now. Let's have a look around, and I can tell you, oh, first of all, let me not forget to tell you, of course, both games are at maximum capacity concerning the graphics. Otherwise, it wouldn't be interesting, it would be easy to do, so we have the settings set up to maximum, of course. And here see sometimes, or even here, 52 frames per second, and sometimes even more. And I already can tell you that I've measured an average here in this game, Dead Trigger 2, on the S6 Edge Plus of 58 frames per second. Let me go here, grab a little bit of ammunition and more action. So where have I been? Yeah, 58 frames per second is really the average, and especially at a stability of 95%, saying that these 58 frames per second have on most, you will find on most of the images. So really, yeah, almost perfect result. And especially, let's stop it here. I guess you have got the game. And again, that little problem here. So here we go. Let's see. I guess too short again, so I have to show another one. But they depend on the length, how you're doing. So here you see that what I meant, 58 frames per second and especially 95% here. See a little bit more here, a little bit brighter, a little bit wider, but at least 95%. That's a great value, no problem at all. And here again, you have that GPU 82%, a little bit more would be possible. And again, that CPU just 9%, forget about that. RAM only 350 megabytes. So there would be a little bit more potential if that trigger 2 would be had programmed a little bit more optimized, but that's kind of okay because you have seen both games are really excellent here on that. I've never seen anything like that before on a mobile phone at least. So this is really a thing you could, if you're a gamer and have the money, of course, and would like to buy Samsung, that's a third part. This Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge Plus would be something I guess you would be happy with. I hope I could help you a little bit with this first impression. There will be more, of course, of the S6 Edge Plus, but this was just the first game check. Thanks for watching and take care. Bye.